gonna go into my pages. I'm gonna go into home and then edit, because the first time you're gonna edit home, it's not gonna be there. And just make sure to create a page for home and for chop if you don't have that already. And when you install WooCommerce, it's just gonna give you that anyway. So just go into your home and then edit with Elementor. And we are just gonna do two things actually before we edit home at all. All right. So we do not have right now a navigation bar. All right. So we can actually do this. All right. And let me show you how you can do this. It's actually pretty simple, but it's not over here. It's in the Elementor theme builder. And we're just going to create a custom header and a custom footer. So right now we're just going to click on header. So site parts and then header, or just this one. You can insert to any of these and then edit it if you'd like. But you need just your account to be connected. So we don't really need that anymore. Okay, just close it. As you can see, we're already in the Elementor header. We just want to rename this. Okay, so just header settings and call it navigation bar, or for example, main navigation Elementor, and then change the HTML tag to nav, the status to be published, and then publish, and include the entire site. This is the condition that we wanted to happen over here, right? But we still haven't added anything to our main navigation. I'm just gonna close this one, and then let's scroll down just a little bit. And as you can see right now, we have those UBE add-ons, right? And those UBE add-ons are the ultimate Bootstrap elements that we're gonna be using. So we just need to find the navigation bar, so we can just search that. So yep, here it is. It's called vertical menu, right? So we're just gonna add that over here. So again, we want on the left a button and on the right the menu, right? So we can create a grid for that, and it's just gonna take 2 columns, right? So on the left over here, we can just add in the menu, and on the right we can have our menu, and on the left we can have our button. So we're just gonna click on plus over here, and then we're just gonna go into UBA elements and then add in button. All right, let's select the type, outline, and we wanted the info. All right, shape, you can use square, round, but we had the rounded corners. Size, we had the like, since we are on desktop, so let's select the large one, or we can select the medium one. Icon, if you'd like to add in the icon. And on-click event, all right, you can add in a custom function over here, all right, if you actually want to. But we just are going to add in a link for get started, and that is going to be for courses. All right, so you can just select from the link options to open in a new window. At this one we want actually backslash courses. We do not have a page for courses, not right now. That is fine. So we're just gonna publish this one, all right? But we just need to edit out the styling a little bit. First of all, we want that container that's in it to take a little bit less than that. But since we're not using a container, we're using the grid system. Okay. So basically what's happening right now is that the button is taking half of the screen and the menu is taking half of the screen. Okay, so we can just change that container layout into a flex box. Okay. Or actually, let's just create a new flex box. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So as you can see in your flex box, you're gonna have 2 containers instead of the grid system over here. So we're just gonna add in the button to this container and the menu to the second container, all right? Just make sure that the button is inside the container and the menu is inside the container as well. All right, let's delete these ones. Let's go into the button, and we want the container actually. Let's just make the width of it like 20%. Okay. And right now the height is messed up because of the vertical menu. Let's see if there is actually a horizontal element for the menus. So let's search horizontal and let's search menu actually. So we want the inline menu, right? We do not want the vertical menu, right? So let's just delete that vertical menu. Yep, this is the one that we want. And I just want to make sure it's in the container. Yes, it's in the container. And then we're just going to increase the width of it at the end of the page, which is going to be 90, I think, or yeah, it's 90. And the button is taking off just 20 or 10%. The container of the button, all right? Yeah, so that is fine. And also we wanted this one. All right, let's go and check the mockup. So I do remember on the mockup in the home screen, we also had a search button over here. So we can't do that. So we're just going to edit the container for our inline menu. Let's make it 70%, for example. So we still have 20% that we could still add. Okay, we're just going to duplicate this one. So as you can see, it adapted to that completely. But we want that container to just take maybe 25. All right, so this one is 25. This container is taking 70. So we can make this into 65. Okay, go into styles, and we're just gonna align the element actually layout to be on the center, or actually, I'm sorry, the start, but um, we want to have the elements on the end. Yeah, so justifying content is we're just gonna have this one on the start and this one to be on the end, and make the direction to be row or actually column vertical. And yeah, as you can see, all of these have a container right now on their own, and we can just make spaces between and everything, but that is not going to work. Why? Because we have containers for each and every one of these. Okay, so what we could do is just edit up the height a little bit, right? So we want the minimum height at least to have 10 VH, by the way. So inside of this container, we want to add in the search button actually. So we're just gonna get elements. Let's search. So yeah, as you can see, there's a search box by Ultimate Bootstrap Elements. So we're just gonna add this one over here. Okay, and let's just remove that inline menu. And let's go back to our search box, change the icon color just to info. Right, so icon library, button type. So you can use an icon or button or text, I'm sorry. Text color, placeholder. So we want the exact color of this to change, all right? So the submit button or accent is good, but we want it to be the same color as info, primary. So right now it's taking actually the colors of it from the global colors, all right? And as you can see here, this is the info color. So we could just copy this one. This is from the Bootstrap theme documentation, from the Bootstrap documentation, I'm sorry. And right now we're just going to go into our global settings and change our global colors So global colors in the design system. Let's change the primary actually into RGBA, then the same color. Okay, the same color. Yep. And then the accent, maybe the same, but maybe a little bit lighter. And I think that is fine. So save changes. And then we're going to go back to our header and just change the color of the search bar icon correctly, right? So go back, and then on your screen, you will find that the color that I'm going to be selecting right now is not going to be available. So I'm just going to show you also as well how to get that global style for the color, okay? So you got the primary, and the primary is basically this color, right? So I changed it to this one. Okay, if you don't know how to do that, you can just go on the left over here and then go into global settings, fonts, or colors, global colors, and then just make sure that the primary color is this CSS3 color. Okay, we're right now going to select the submit button, and we're going to change that text color into either the accent or the primary, right? But I'm going to choose the primary because it's the exact color as the button over here. Cool. I also want to increase the container's length for the button. Yep. And decrease the, so this is 15. We want this, so 65 and 15. That would be 80. And so this one should be 20. So this one is 25. We can make this one 60. And yeah, I think this one looks pretty good, and it looks exactly like the one that we had, except this one over here. So we can just edit that one. All right. So the outline length, the outline color is the problem with the button right now. So that is fine. So let's actually go into style again. And I'm gonna change this just to dark text. This is in terms of the input, so whatever text we write over here does not have to be green. And the submit button, we want that outline of the button itself to be in the green color we selected as well. Okay, so we got the background color. No, we want the outline color. So let's go into content. Let's actually see if we can edit anything else. And we can enable ASIAC search over here. Yes. Style. Right, I just want this button to have the color of info, which I already did, but the only problem I'm having right now is the outline itself. All right, so let's actually do one on our own. Let's see if that would work. Yeah, so that worked, but right now we want that hover to be changed into that accent. Okay, so the text color has changed, but we want that background color to be changed as well. And let's make this into light, for example. Okay, so that worked. Let's check this one out. Yeah, so that looks pretty good. And this is how you would change it, all right? You can just change the border color to be black also as well to match the one beside it, right? So we can make it dark. So yeah. So yeah, I think that looks pretty good. And actually on hover, we want that border color to be the accent, and on normal, we want it to be in black. As you can see right now, if we go into the Figma design and we check out the desktop design for the menu, you will find that it looks exactly like the one that we built, all right? Actually, the one that we have on the desktop over here looks a lot better, all right? And this is how it looks like in the medium to, so this is the one, this is that one we built in Figma, all right? So the only difference is that I have the text on the left over here. So that is something that we could do. Okay. Let's go back to the main navigation and edit that, okay? So I'm just going to open up this menu over here. I'm going to select the inline menu that's within the container. And I just want to make sure that the elements, or let me resize this a little bit. I want to make sure that the elements over here are on the left. So content, and what else? Actually, the container itself, and justify content start. And we can also, it's already at the start over here. Yeah, that's pretty much it, right? And then publish it. But maybe that the space over here is a little bit big, so we can just make that a little bit smaller actually. Right, so 11. And the container over here layout, so 11. So 6, 9. So 11 and 6, 9. That's 80. And this is 25, so this one should be 64. All right, so 64, and this one is 11, so that would be 75, and this one is 25, so that would be 100. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's in terms of the header. But we need to actually fix as well on tablet and on mobile. Now we're gonna actually hide some stuff on mobile, right? So we want to hide this container and this inline menu, right? So we're just gonna go into inline menu in the structure and then scroll down a little bit, go into responsive, hide this on mobile and hide this on desktop, all right? Let me just double check the Figma design, but I'm pretty sure that the menu is the same on desktop, on tablet, but it's different on mobile. Okay, so we're actually going to add in another menu over here. All right, so we're just going to add in another element, but we're going to hide it on desktop. All right, so let's just search menu. And here is the vertical menu. We're just going to add it over here. Okay, you can just drag it over here and just resize it afterwards. We're just going to add it within the same container over here, but just bear in mind something. Make sure you go into advanced and then into responsive. All right, so advanced. Let me just open up this for you. Let's scroll down a little bit. So you'll find something that's called responsive. All right, here it is. And then hide this one on desktop and hide this one on tablet. All right, let's publish that and let's see what happens. All right, so we want to actually hide this on desktop, and as you can see, responsive visibility will take effect only on preview mode or live page, and while editing in Elementor. So let's actually go into the page and let's check out right now how it looks like. All right, so we're just gonna go into localhost and then WordPress. So yeah, as you can see right now, the vertical menu is not available on mobile. And if I go into more tools, web developer tools, and then I just select the mobile device, you will find the vertical menu. Yeah, so as you can see here, it is the vertical menu is available and the search menu is available as well. Okay, let me just change the text that is over here and let's get it to be get started. All right, publish this one. We also want to hide in the search, you know. We do not want the search because we do not have that in the Figma as well. So if I go into the Figma design and I go into the mobile section, there's no search, just a button and then the menu on the left. Okay. So that's pretty weird. All right. So yeah, get started. I just changed that. I'm sorry. So we're just gonna go into this container and then we're gonna go into the search box. And then we're gonna go into advanced and then into just minimize that layout, go into responsive, hide on mobile. All right, publish this one. So after we publish it and then we refresh, the button and the vertical menu are just gonna be the only things shown over here. All right. All right, so I'm just gonna put the vertical menu actually before the inline menu. And let me tell you why. Because actually on mobile, I just want the button and then the, you know, the menu over here on the left. But we just need to edit the vertical menu. So let's go into the content, right? Toggle button, menu always show, yes, toggle align. Or let's close menu always show. Right, publish this one because we want it to be a toggle button. We do not want it to be always shown as it's saying. We just want the regular button on the left over here. Again, if you get like lost any at times, you can just go back to the Figma design, you know, zoom in a little bit and see what you want to do basically. Okay. So right now it's just refreshing. And maybe we need just to clear the cache. Okay, and still it was still publishing. So let's refresh that right now. I think that should work right now. Okay. Tablet portrait. Okay, so we actually need to hide the inline menu. Just make sure we're hiding the inline menu. So as you can see, the inline menu is already hidden on mobile, but just like double check that. So yeah, it's hidden on mobile. Vertical menu. All right. So there is a small issue right now, as you can see. The container for the menu itself is not allowing us to have the like the grid system that we wanted. All right. So we can just go into that and just change that into a grid system. And we want it to be one row actually, and two columns. And what else? We just want that vertical menu to be actually over here. All right, let's publish that one. Let's check out how it will look. So on mobile, it will look good, but I just want to check out how that would affect desktop and tablet as well. All right. So I'll just give it a moment while it's publishing and everything. And this one, we can just align it to the right. So you can just toggle the align to the right, toggle the theme. So if you want it to be the scheme of light or dark, whatever you would like. So let's check out the light one, because sometimes in Bootstrap it's a little bit mixed. We're just going to go into the toggle button, and we're also going to change the text color and everything. All right. I'm just going to go back into the content, and I'm just going to change this into dark. Go into style. I'm going to go into the main menu. And let's toggle it actually. All right. So we want it to be on hover, to have the text color of primary. The active also to have this one or accent. All right. What else? Okay, the submenu. We do not have a submenu for now. Okay, but as you can see, when you hover, we have the primary color, but we want the toggle button itself to have the text color of, but we want it on hover. Let's keep it the same as on normal, but we want it to be different on toggle. All right, so let's get that to accent or primary. Yeah, so for some reason maybe the primary one is not showing. Yeah, here it is. So I just zoomed out, and yeah, we're back at 100. All right, so when we hover over it, all right, so actually the text color, we want it to be light, and the background color is the one we need it to be primary. All right, so we're just gonna zoom out. I don't know why this thing is happening, as you could see, but you can just zoom out and fix it. All right, so yeah, as you can see right now, this is the exact same thing we want. Just gonna keep it to 100 zoom, and let's just publish that and see how it looks right now. Yeah, so as you can see, we're back, and I'm just gonna give it a moment or two to load. Okay, so the issue right now that we're having is this container over here, or this button container, right? It's taking a little bit too much. So I'm just gonna go into the grid and then button. So grid, and then so let's try and actually like increase the width of it. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna make this into percentage, and then let's see what exactly we can do that. So I have it 100%. That did not work, so let's just keep it in pixels. Let's keep it at 150, or 125 is pretty good. 120 is really good. Okay, let's publish this, and let's actually see how it will look like as well on tablet. So on tablet it looks good as well, but this menu width just needs to increase a little bit, so we can do that. Why do we want to do that? Because basically I want my menu to be basically like taking the whole screen width over here. All right. Okay, so we can actually edit the container itself. Layout, let's actually keep this to percentage, and let's keep this width to 100. So yeah, 100 is too much. Let's keep this to like, let's actually keep it without any width, but let's increase it until, so 65%, so 66. Desktop, desktop maybe 60, like this container. Let's make it 67. But I just need to be a little bit to the right, a little bit more to the right, to be honest. So if I choose end, no, center, I think this one looks good. All right, so desktop on tablet, it's good as well on tablet, but I think we just need to like make the search button a little bit, the container for it a little bit smaller. So content width, percentage, let's make that into just 21 is good, or 22, 23. We just want it to be not like, we don't want to break the layout. So we go back over here to the container over here, and let's just increase the width a little bit, so 67. And the container for this, let's make it 23, 20, maybe 15. All right, so we need this at least to be like, all right, so let's actually decrease the width of this a little bit more, so 95 for example. So let's go back to the container over here, let's make it a little bit, so yeah, 66 seems to be the correct one. And then the mobile version, and this one is hidden, so like these two are hidden, it's not going to be shown on mobile. So desktop, tablet, and mobile. Okay, so right now let's go into our local host WordPress, copy this one, paste and go. As you can see on desktop, it looks pretty good. On mobile, maybe you just need to alter the like the button itself a little bit. And one last thing is the tablet. So yeah, it looks pretty good on all layouts, so that's pretty good.